welcome to another LeafCast, a first-time reader show based on the epic fantasy tale, The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. I'm pretending to be Ryan because I am watching a bunch of British 12-year-olds play some post-hardcore. And I am Ryan's brother Dan, and
yeah.
Well, the way of the leaf is not for everyone, Fael said gently, but Isla shook her head again. It is for everyone, she replied just as gently and a touch sadly, if they only knew it.
Yeah.
And we are the way of the leaf, and this is the LeafCast. Yay! Ryan is fulfilling. At Ryan and Kay, there is a Christmas gift involved where they are unavailable for tonight. Kay, I think, is in the chat hopping around. I think Ryan might even be in there sometime too. He's with his friend Kevin. But we are pushing on like the Iditarod dogs we are. And we only get Todd like twice a month. So, we got to take him to Disneyland when he's here. We got to get him ice cream. It's like, we're like,
put me to work.
Dad said only get him for like for 4 hours a month rather.
That's right.
So
it's in my
guys.
Contract.
It's in your contract.
Hey, brother Dan.
What's up, brother Dan?
I'm glad you guys are here.
What's that caterpillar on your lip?
Oh no, that was Ryan. That was
yeah, I know.
Ryan was here and then he left. I know he's gonna love that one too. Oh, let me so because I am doing this. There we go. We got some music now. It's been kind of a struggle to focus. We are going to Jordan Con in just 2 days. And so, nerves are getting a little high. My thoughts are jumbled. It's the last thing I think of when I go to sleep. First thing I think of when I wake up. So I am excited, but we still have a show to do. I could not leave you guys on the hook. We have 4 chapters. We're going to get through 4 chapters. We started on time. I mean, we're crushing already, guys.
Deep in it.
There are drinking obligations. I hope that you have
power trio
beverage and mine.
Just like meat pizza sandwich.
So actually, talk amongst yourselves real fast.
Todd, what you got there?
I have an IPA from Sacramento, California here. It's a New Glory Brewery.
New Glory.
They make amazing IPAs.
I thought for a second it said New Dorn.
Mosaic.
Oh, that's the Mosaic hops. You had that last time you were on the show.
I really like this beer. I like Mosaic hops.
Good man.
It's a nice floral kind of fruity hops.
It is good.
I enjoy it very much. Yes. What are you drinking, Josh?
I forget what we called it. We had a funny name for it, but now I've lost it somewhere in the dusty attic of my mind.
As long as it's good.
It's
hops
good.
Hops are awesome. Hops have like the best name. It's like there's Majestic hops. There's Imperial
Galaxy,
hops. There's they just got cool names.
Citra, yeah.
Sound like
relative of marijuana. So how can you go wrong?
Exactly.
They do look like buds.
I mean, they're related. They're
they're
adjacent plants on the cannabis part of the circle of life.
I always thought of IPA as liquid weed. Kind of reminds me of.
Yeah. Not a bad.
It's delicious.
There is an IPA out here that's called Smells Like a Safety Meeting. And so when we, in my band, we were playing, when we would take a break, we would say, all right, it's time for a safety meeting.
Check.
And that means we were just going to go smoke
safety
weed.
Check.
So, yes, yeah, we call it a safety meeting. But yeah, so there's an IPA called
in the restaurant industry. It was always called Safety Check, but yeah,
Safety Check. Nice.
You cut your finger off without some marijuana involved, It's funny how geographic.
The restaurant industry has it right though. They only test you if there's an accident. If there's not an accident, you're cool.
You're cool.
Just don't hurt yourself, and you're fine.
Just keep.
It is funny
What were
how
you saying,
geographic beers are for me. Like when I lived on the West Coast, I drank a lot of IPAs, and now that I live in a hot climate, you know, it's like I'm way more likely to drink a lager or a dark beer than I am an IPA. Something about that cool California climate.
I hear you.
Now you're just drinking Margaritavilles and eating rum cakes and
Hey man,
blowing out
don't knock Jimmy
flip-flops
Buffett until you've tried him, all right? You haven't lived until you've been on a floaty with a margarita at a Jimmy Buffett concert on the lake somewhere, all right?
getting Mexican cutie tattoos.
Hey, people wear parrots for some reason. I don't know why.
Carrots?
Jimmy Buffett, man.
Parrots.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
called like parrot heads.
Yeah. Do you know what other people use parrots as their symbol? I'll give you a hint. They are married and they exchange partners.
Oh, it's a swinger thing?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, that was
that's
more
what
than a
that's all
hint. You
about.
told me they're married and they
Well, I
exchange-
did. I figured I might as well just tell you and get it out there. Didn't want to make you guess
I
for
felt
too
like,
long.
hey, I figured it out. No, you spelled it out.
That does not surprise me at all. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, so let's jump in. Let's jump in here. And if we get any way we can squeeze some Jimmy Buffett in here, I say
All
we
for
do
it.
it. This is called A Cup of Wine, which may be a Buffett song.
You never know.
All Jimmy
He's
Buffett.
got enough songs that any combination of words could be a valid Jimmy Buffett song.
They're just joyous alcoholics. They're like, AA. We could either go to Alcoholics Anonymous, or we could just hang
Or get
out
a
with
Jimmy
people like
Buffett.
blenders in their cars.
And on their motorboats, more importantly.
And other boats. I want to hang out with women that show their breasts without me even asking. Jimmy Buffett fans, I assume.
Only the best.
Always. Yeah.
All right, so A Cup of Wine. This is an Elaine chapter. They have just gotten off the wave dancer. They're like, bye, bye. They give the family greeting, kissing the two fingers, mwah, right against the lips. It's the COVID
Speaking
kiss.
of topless women.
Fish.
All right, go on.
Sorry, Ryan's not here. I'm channeling him, apparently.
I love it. Hey, we need it. We all need some Ryan in us right now.
That's right.
Hey, what?
Hey.
What?
Oh, there he is.
What?
There he
Talking to
is.
me? They're talking to me? All right, I'm back.
Fantastic.
All right, you're back. He's back.
That wasn't a bad impersonation, though. The puppy gets agitated at times. Apparently, they taught each other as well. Elaine got some skills and passed along some skills. They say bye. They're like, okay, see ya. And Tadori, your man, do be
Oh,
hopping
man.
up the deck.
Yep.
So happy.
I
so
do be
happy to
thinking
see
of
you.
you.
Mr. Doman.
Mr. Bale Doman. I do be happy about that, man. It's so awesome to have that man back.
Dale's all, this place is bursting at its caulking. I'll say my name. I'll get you in. She's like, you doing well? He's like, yeah, I'm a fucking pirate. Oh man, I bribe all these kids. And like, there's two people that walk by. They're like, hello, Mr. Doman. He's like, like those guys. Yeah, he's a straight out criminal, but smuggler. But he's paying.
Smooth criminal, at least.
He's like a Han Solo smuggler to me, kind of.
He's totally Han Solo. Yeah, he's the Han Solo. You do be
I'd
the
say
Han
more
Solo.
mob, kind of. Like, you know, where
Oh,
the
yeah.
mob kind of has the cops on their side.
Oh right. Oh man.
They get a
think Han
sedan.
I think Bale Doman
they
is
get
much
a
more
sedan.
likely to shoot someone under the table than
Solo.
a mobster is. I mean,
Bale Doman is? He do be?
yeah, he do be
He do be
pulling
shooting
his
at
gun under the
table.
table.
The people there are fucked up. They're all aggressive looking. There was a quote. What was it? Slitty-eyed, hungry-faced men. We're just staring at them. They're like, all right, yeah, beat tough guys. They get in a sedan. They go to the 3-plum court. I tried to think of something sexual, and I just couldn't. I think he got me on this. What?
3 plums. Yeah, who could?
I don't know. But they meet Rendra, who's the innkeeper, and they go into the court. We hear that Bayle Doman gives a lot to charity. What do you know? He's a good smuggler pirate.
Yep.
He's like, I do be.
Just a golden heart.
Nynaeve is like, all right, Bayle, we got some Black Aja here, and we got some Forsaken here. Elaine is what? What do you guys think of Nynaeve's being so
forwardness,
forthright? Yeah,
that's just her style. She wants to.
Is it
like
though?
It is.
I think she's trying to tout her masculinity over the men.
Oh yeah, she's feeling jealous of Bayle Doman's.
And not just Bayle Doman, but Tom, and they're offended by Tom and Julian's, interfering in their womanly.
Oh yeah, Elaine mentions that actually.
Duties.
Well, it says some of the Black Aja may very well be in Tanchico, and we must find them if they're not. If they are, Nynaeve lifted a. I need my glasses on. Nynaeve lifted a forkful of beans to her mouth as if she had said nothing out of the ordinary. She seemed to be telling everyone about the Black Aja of late. Doman gaped at her, then stared incredulously at Tom and Julian as they settled back in their chairs. When they nodded, he pushed his plate aside and put his head down on his arms. He very nearly earned himself a thump from Nynaeve.
I love this part.
Yeah, so he's like, looks at the men, and the men gave a nod, like, don't worry about it. Yep.
Dude, I would love to do, this is a total sidetrack, but I would love to do a tasting menu of the meals in this book.
There's got to be some cookbook out there.
Plate of roast lamb with spiced apple jelly and some sort of longish yellow beans prepared with pine nuts. I was like,
Yeah,
I think our friend Rob may have made this. He is a chef and has created some dishes, and I'm not sure if he's done this one or not, but I would not.
Those are wax beans with pine nuts, and then roast lamb with apple jelly. Those are both like classic, Mediterranean, Moroccan influence dishes.
Totally.
I'd do be eating that if I could.
I don't think any of them do.
I don't think they do, Karri. Sorry. Not to say that they.
Beautiful. Thanks for the reminder. Running this without Ryan, sometimes I do need a little help like that guy, so thanks.
You do be needing a little help.
And I'm glad that you're here, Karri. I do be needing a little help, I'd say. So we got Bayle Doman. Bayle Doman is like, hey, I'll help you. Give me some info. They get the info. Or he gives actually all the info to Julian and Tom. Julian's concerned about the gutter hounds, and Tom's kind of concerned about the upper crust.
Well, doesn't Nynaeve also write out a list of the 13 Black Aja's descriptions and pass it on to Bayle?
Totally.
Correct. And I think you're right that Julian letter says that, once that Illioner scum.
I love
Gets his
how
men out
Tom
for Dovie
has to mediate. Yeah, Tom basically has to mediate between
Right,
the two of them since they won't like speak directly to one another.
Yeah,
Right.
because they got some bad blood.
Cultural
Some
bad
Illinois-
blood.
Illinois, yeah.
Yeah.
What is it?
He did not answer until they were put by Tom. Elaine doesn't understand really either the line of questioning, but she's like, all right, fine. All the men leave. Tom goes down to the common room and she follows him. Tom's like,
oh, wait, one thing though. This is one little thing.
yes.
I love how, Bail Dolman's like, oh man, and then Naive's explaining the situation and like why they're there and how there's Black Aja and Forsaken. And, he gets really kind of disappointed. He's like, man, are you guys going to turn this into Falm again?
Mm-hmm.
Is Tanchico going to become Falm? Like Bail Dolman just calls it out right there, which is a prediction probably.
Yeah, and little does he know there's probably already a Forsaken ruling somewhere. And
do you think that Tanchico is going to become like Falm? I mean, so what he says is, he says something interesting.
He's like, oh, very well. I will help as I can, but I will no promise.
Perhaps the Lord Dragon does not break the world yet, but he did break Air Doman and Terravon.
Totally. That was a really interesting part. So already, he's wreaking just havoc and chaos and all the lands.
so why has one thing that confused me a little bit is why Elaine doesn't because she doesn't know Tom knows the game of houses. Okay, I'm answering my own question. I was confused for a second about why she didn't understand Tom's strange questions about the rich and famous and the inner workings of the court, but she only knows about his past with her mother now, not right. That happened before this meeting, or does that happen?
No,
that doesn't happen until they're in the inn together and she gets wasted. Okay, right.
She
right,
gets totally soused.
Yeah. Getting my timeline mixed up.
Do you guys want to go into the common room with her? Or is there anything else we want to mention about Bail Dolman and the hunt for the women?
That's good. I think we're ready for Tom's high chance.
Yeah, Tom's high chance, man. Yeah.
I did find it interesting that Nynaeve had become used to the wave dancers heaving. Like she overcame her seasickness that she had on her previous journey on the most recent boat, and now she's like doesn't have her land legs anymore.
Right.
And Elaine and her are still kind of like in conflict. Yeah, she calls it her room, which Elaine has to harp on in her own mind.
And she later notes that how her elbows are pointing out.
Elbows are pointing out when she's laying down. Yeah.
Like, what a hog.
The woman was free with her elbows, she said.
Yeah.
That's a funny one. I laughed at that.
And actually, that is I had underlined it. So I actually underlined quite a few things. So we did miss one drinking obligation already. So whenever someone just shows the worst poker face in the world, as Bail Dolman does. So here it says, quote, Tom's cloak made Dolman's eyebrows raise. For an instant, she almost thought it looked as though he recognized the gleeman, but Julian's Terran garb brought a frown that was returned in kind. So I was just imagining, like I tried to do it, I'm like, bad poker face. Thank you.
What is that about him recognizing Tom?
Yeah, I was trying to think about that. Or he just sees that he's a gleeman. I don't know.
Had he crossed paths with him?
Or
Tom
I think he just saw
in
doesn't Tom have his gleaming cloak on?
He does, yeah.
And maybe he's just reacting to a gleeman. maybe he doesn't like.
Let's see. That's a good question.
then-
I know that he rides on a boat. They get on a boat, beating the Trollocs, right? Was that Bail Doman's boat?
Oh yeah. Way back in book 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they get on Bail
Was
Doman.
that?
It's like Matt, Tom, and Rand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! I forgot it. I think that's right. Clarification, please, Leafers.
Anyone in the chat?
If Dana Lou's still in the chat, I think that Tom has gotten
Tom
a
was
ride
on
with
the
Bail
spray
Doman
in
Yes.
EOTW.
Totally.
Oh, there are new comments.
I totally forgot about that.
So okay, so there is, but
world.
Elaine does not know that, and he doesn't let spill either. But it says that he isn't that open with talking to Tom either. So,
But he's
was there a
more
reason for them not
open
to
with
like each other?
Tom than he was with Julian.
Right.
Doman answered Tom with more alacrity than he did Julian. In either case.
Yeah. But he knew. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, let's go on. Oh, there was one more underline. If we wanted to do the quote, she had shared a bed with Nynaeve before, and the woman was free with their elbows.
Yep.
I think, for Ryan's sake, I'm gonna Ryan would find something. Yeah, I'm gonna drink.
To free elbows.
Hubba. And you know what? That drink included Bale's soup kitchen. I like that. All right, into the common room. Tom kills it. Hammer Dulcimer, get in the corner, lady. Hey, thanks for opening for me. I'm getting so much coin. I need a little kid to collect it all. And Elaine is getting drunk. His handsome manservant keeps filling her cup. I've seen this move. Happen. Suddenly, people they don't if they don't get to the bottom of the cup, if they don't order another one, they don't think that they are having more than one or whatnot. And this is a devious move that this guy's doing. Especially because we learned that Elaine does not get out much. It says she's, quote, it was all strangely exciting. In her whole life, she had not been in an inn's common room half a dozen times, and never to sip wine and be entertained like one of the common people.
It was a brand new world for her.
It's an adventure. She's banging tables. She's like, yeah, yeah.
The never-ending wine cup. She's like, yes.
It's fucking fun. She becomes a woo girl. She's like, woo, Tom, woo.
Tom's such a
I don't know
she
about
is-
that, but more like pushing him into his room by his mustaches. Robert
Yeah, she
says.
gets pretty.
I did underline the sentence. Elaine slapped hers as vigorously as anyone.
Mhm.
So I like that. I'll drink to that. That's an innuendo enough.
Slapped hers as vigorously. Yeah.
And this isn't Robert Jordan put. This is me finding
No, I think
funny
it's-
lines out of context. Yeah.
It might be RJ a little bit.
He does a great hunt of the horn. Super great. But it says Elaine could have sworn she had heard him recite the Great Hunt before, but in high chant.
Yeah, this is what brings it all into her.
Right.
She kind of.
Everyone's
brings it
drunk. Tom says peace out, goes upstairs. Elaine goes to his room and will not leave. She pulls on his mustaches. And she is drunk and she is like, she says, I remember I was sitting on your knee and I pulled your mustache. She gave it a yank to demonstrate and he winced. Wow. And my mother leaned over your shoulder and laughed at me. And he's like, go to bed. She's like, my mother sat on your knee too. I saw it. I remember. He's like, you're drunk. But she pushes her way in by his mustaches, and we hear about Tom's backstory a little bit.
He finally
Bard.
He was the bard, and he
Not
was
just a
his
simple
her
gleeman.
lover.
Saw her as a woman.
Yeah,
Her loneliness.
Yep. Even a queen needs love.
even a queen needs love, right? So,
This is a huge reveal. For Elaine, at least. I don't know. She put it together. She put 2 and 2 together. She put 2 mustaches together. Now she knows Tom and who he is, really is. I love this. It was great. But will she remember it?
well, she does remember it, but they just kind of play it off. She pretends like she doesn't. But yeah, she's like, I remember. He's like, yeah, me and your mom, we used to fuck. Because it's lonely at the top, you know what I mean? And she's
He's
like,
Elaine, I was a man and she was a woman.
I saw her as a
Had
woman.
needs.
And she's like, my mother's a whore. My mother's a whore. More or less. She's like, my mother's no better than Bearlane, and we all know Bearlane. And she gets a firm slap across the face. Wapow.
Something like that.
Tom.
He didn't like that at all.
Tom.
You can't talk
Anyways.
shit about his woman. No.
And he says, I'll spank you like a little girl if you say another word, drunker. Your mother was the best. The best. No one says, keep your mother's name out your fucking mouth. She's my mom. Anyways. Yeah, he didn't like that. He slapped her. Tom, don't do that. Sends her off. Says, yeah. He's like, why'd you leave? He's like, I'll tell you this story another day. You go to bed, little girl. She goes to her bed, and Nynaeve is like, huh. Well, that was super fucking irresponsible. Come here. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Come here.
Let us look
Splash.
both.
Boosh! Bobbing for something. Not exactly apples, but apple jelly.
All she could do was flail and gurgle and choke. All right, so I like that.
She handled it.
Elaine wondered why she was grinning that way when she saw her
Her own
reflection.
reflection.
Fixtures Ploosh right into the water. Ploosh. She's like, I'm dying. Quote. She's like, okay, I'm fine. I'm gonna barf. And the quote, while she brought up everything she had ever eaten in her life, I think is I love a description for a first time drunk doing that, so I'm going to drink.
I like how she says, that I'm going to sick up.
I'm gonna sick up.
She calls it sick up.
And it lasted a year or an hour. She wasn't sure. So I mean, that's a combo drink.
Another, is it battle or is
glasses
it
Whenever
being
time gets
drunk?
wonky.
How many glasses of wine did you think she had? Or cups of wine?
I think she probably had, let's say, a bottle.
Yeah, she had
I think she probably had a bottle.
Like three and a half.
Elaine says a pitcher full. Or Nynaeve says a pitcher full.
Nynaeve just knows. She's like,
Which is like a carafe. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna have to stop for a second. I'll be right back. I gotta get off my VPN. Be right back.
all right, here we are, Dad.
Oh,
But
his Bitcoin operation had an error message. His VPN is from something that begins with ends with a stan and begins with I think it's Bukistan.
Bukistan.
This is where it says that he's. You back from Bukistan? Okay.
What?
He had to dump.
I heard there's something about
crypto.
Bitcoin, and then you all glitched
Yeah,
out.
dump some crypto.
Bitcoin, yeah.
He had to dump
So
some
Nynaeve's
crypto.
like, well, you're super irresponsible. We need to go search for fucking Egwin. Remember last time we saw her, she pooped out of existence, and we haven't found her since. Elaine's like, I'll do it. Nynaeve's like, no, I'll fucking do it. She's all angry, all glowy. She's like, all right, I'll wake you in an hour. That's a lot of trust to ask a drunk person to stay awake for an hour. But
I don't know. Yeah.
But boom, she does it, falls asleep, and is in TAVERN. She thinks, I should be in the Waste in Ruidian, and boom, she's in like right above Ruidian.
I like that moment where she blushes, because they could change their clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah, she like
This
thinks
is an
of a
RJ
sexy
moment.
outfit.
This is like
Totally.
a pervy little RJ moment. He's like,
Right, gets when she thought of Lan, it was hard to control her outfits.
yeah, it was like a transparent silk dress or something. that
Vera
comes
Lane
on.
style dress.
Oh, Robert.
Yeah, there had been embarrassing moments in earlier visits to TAVERN, mostly after stray thoughts of Lan, but changing her garb deliberately to concentration. Just that, remembering, and her dress was silk and as transparent as Rendra's veil. Lane would have blushed. So did Nynaeve, thinking of Lan seeing her in it. It took an effort to bring the brown wool back.
Oh, it took an effort. She's like,
She's like, ugh. And actually, we get to where Perrin gets super horny thoughts too. I like when our kids get horny.
He does have like a wet dream, basically, right? After he leaves the TAVERN or the wolf dream.
Right, which
That's
is
not
weird
soft.
because he has an arrow in him and he just lost
Soft
27
grass.
of his friends. And then he like has like this romping sex dream. Anyways, we'll get to it. She has a cudgel. She's in Ruidian. It says, quote, hold on. It starts on this page. A man, though all she could see at this distance was someone who seemed to be wearing breeches and a bright blue coat. Certainly not an Aiel. He was walking along the edge of the fog, every now and again stopping to poke at it. She could not be sure, but she thought his hand stopped short each time. Maybe it was not fog at all. And then, you must get away from here, a woman's voice said urgently. If that one sees you, you are dead or worse.
who is it?
Is that Slayer or is that someone else?
I think it's Slayer, right? Because he's been described as having a blue coat, right? Before?
Has he?
I
Okay.
think so. Yeah, like when he went into the metal tower. When
Perrin was chasing him into the Genji.
the Genji. I think he was described as having a blue coat. I can't remember though. Dana Lou, we need you.
By the way, the beer is checked. Thank you, Mr. Dovie. We're having a beer exchange. We bring local beers if you can pack them in your checked luggage, and we will exchange some and drink each other's favorite elixirs.
I don't think that it is Slayer. I think it's Slayer who is wearing the dark colored cloak that shoots the arrow at her. A little bit later.
Right. A little bit later.
Yeah, I don't think this is Slayer. I think this is another hero of the Horn.
And it looks.
Maybe.
Oh, wait, no.
Or a
Is this the
Forsaken.
one that looks
Maybe it's a Shamael.
true. And he looks
Or
like
isn't-
Lan, right?
There's some Forsaken who Lanfear is in like a contest with about who owns the Tel'aran'rhiod. I think it's
Oh, it's one of those.
that's who
I
it
think
is.
it was a Shamael.
A Shamael, right? So I'm assuming this
Yeah.
is maybe a Shamael.
And she says he looks like Lan, right?
The person in the dark cloak looks like Ran.
Like Lan.
Lan, yeah. Another.
Which makes sense because I think they describe Ishmael as looking kind of like a Malkir. I don't know.
The Malakiri is the guy in the dark colored cloak, though, right? Not the blue coat.
I don't know.
It has a bright blue coat.
Yeah.
I don't think that Slayer wears a bright blue coat. I think that
I think that the dark cloaked man who looks like Lan, who looks like a Malakiri, is Slayer. That's that's my guess. Who shoots the arrow at her?
the one who shoots at Nynaeve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you now about this. Oh, go.
I think there are two different people right here. I think.
Yeah, there are.
She sees
Agreed.
the blue coat person, and then she sees Brigitte, and then they go to like the two rivers, right?
She chases Brigitte to the two rivers, and then she sees Slayer because that's where Slayer is.
Right. Okay.
Her parents been
confused
encountering
right
him.
there.
Well, that's another. Well, we'll get to that. Put a pin in that. Whether she chases Brigitte or she flees because Brigitte was pointing an arrow at her heart, and she said, "Leave," and suddenly she was at the two rivers,
Totally.
and then Brigitte was there. I'm not sure if she chased her, but let me ask you about.
She chases her once she's in the two rivers. She runs after her. Brigitte runs off, and then Nynaeve chases after her.
Wait,
Correct.
Brother Dan.
Correct.
Brother
Correct.
Dan, what is your-
So we have. Let me ask you about Ridian. This is a city that is always in this fog.
And we
It was
know that you
described as
can't
a
get
city.
there in the dream world. We were told that already by the wise ones.
Okay.
That there are some places that you can't reach. Ruidian, Ogier Stedding, and there was one other place they mentioned. When they were training Egwene in the
can you
tent.
not go in the ways?
I know it's not your mom. Because I've been there. I'm just kidding.
Wait, can you go in the ways? I don't think you could go in the ways in the TAVERN, right? I know this kind of comes up later a little bit, but like
I thought that Perrin has been in the ways in the wolf. My theory is still that they've been in the ways in the wolf dream. When he sees the Forsaken, when he sees the woman run off through the fucking MC Escher environment, and then the three
That Hopper took
Forsaken
it,
meet up, and then they like battle, and there's a fucking like vortex created where they battle.
Perrin does try to get in, though. He touches it at the mirrored lens,
And he can't get
it
in.
was just as if it was a mirror. But he knew that it was being activated at that moment. It was open. He saw it was closed, then it was open, and then he saw it close back up.
Okay, so yeah, I guess
So
you're right.
he wasn't able to access it from his vantage point, at least.
So maybe that's just another layer of reality. Then is the MC Escher,
Or Hopper's just better at it.
right? You can take him there.
Yeah, he's a veteran. He's like,
I mean, Hopper does fly down from the sky and shit, just like.
yeah, he's just a badass. TAVERN badass.
We do have a drinking obligation, guys.
Doesn't someone else see a Malakiri in these chapters too? Like
It
Perrin,
comes
maybe?
up. Yeah, it
I think
comes up
Perrin,
later.
when he's having his sick dream,
Yeah, we'll
he
get to that.
encounters someone and describes him as looking like Lan. That's where it is, right?
We'll put a pin in that one.
Yeah, we'll
get
come
there.
back to that as we get there later, but
No, we're like getting ahead of ourselves.
Well, we do have to. The line here is, "I'll thump you so you think you've had an adventure." That's the threat. I'll thump you so you think you've had an adventure.
Oh yeah, who does
So I'm drinking to that.
Oh, so Nanaïve says that to Brigitte.
Ooh, Josh, what are you erroneously doing? What?
Describing this meeting that I'm erroneously describing. I don't know what is erroneously described about it.
Come on,
but
Glenn.
What am I
Give me a
erroneously
break, would you?
describing, Glenn?
Ooh, the inspiration for the
pun
waves.
lord.
Oh my god.
Ah,
That
you know,
blew me
spiteful
away.
tongue and vicious fingers there, Glenn.
The
All right,
queen is
so
seed.
Glenn, don't make me thump you like you. wait, I'll thump you so you think you've had an adventure there, buddy. So she sees, she chases Brigitte. She jumps. Brigitte's like, get out now! I'm gonna kill you. She goes boom right to the green. She sees Brigitte, runs behind her neighbor's house. She runs after. Oh, there's a guy who looks like Lan. Hey, he's 100 paces away. Hey, you just shot an arrow at me. Ah! She bounces out, has a little cut on her shoulder.
Ouch.
The perils of dreaming, huh?
It's tough, man.
I
She
see.
wakes
Glenn,
up, she's like,
Glenn says they
"You
didn't
look
have
like
a big fight. They had a small fight, I guess. They got in an argument.
They
That's what I would say.
they weren't necessarily coworkers per se.
Yeah. They got in a
They were
disagreement
more-
about something. There were two men talking. A third showed up. They had a disagreement, and a heat ball happened that Perrin like ducked behind the handrail, and then they were gone. And like the handrails where they were standing were destroyed. There was like a broken space. That's how I remember it. I'm probably wrong, but that's how I remember it.
They had a fallout, disagreement. Yeah, an argument. They wanted to do me, so I did it in our apartment. Bust it. Doing some naughty by nature, not because I hate you. All right. So she bounces back. Elaine's like, "Oh, wait, hey."
She bounces back,
fine.
yeah.
She's like, "All right, let's go to bed." She wakes up. She says, "In the morning, she wished she were dead." Yep, been there. She pretends that she doesn't remember talking to Tom. Tom's like,
Hang on. Was the drinking obligation Elaine saying why ever she can't? I mean, it did not seem to make a great deal of sense, but she could not get it out properly.
Good one.
I'll drink to that if you explain it to me.
You know, get it out properly. A drunk person trying.
Okay. Okay.
I like it. Works.
She also She also jerks at the sound of Tom's voice.
Okay. All right. Then now we're talking. And barely stifled a whimper. Yeah, that's a good line. I don't know why I didn't underline this. She jerked at the sound of Tom's voice and barely stifled a whimper.
Dude,
He
RJ
fiddled
is
with
just
one of
having-
his mustaches.
Good one.
Certainly.
RJ's just having a great time, I think.
Yeah, these are some spicy chapters. Spicy.
I did underline the fact that it says the two men eyed one another. In another moment, Elaine expected one of them to offer to wrestle. Men. First Julian and Doman. Now Julian and Tom. Very likely Tom and Doman would get into a fist fight to complete it. Men. That was the only comment she could think of.
Of course it was.
So in her hungover, fucked up headache haze, she's just. Man. So, all right, thanks.
Oh, the gender roles.
It happens.
This is a cool part. I like the part though where Julian comes in and he has some information.
Yep.
For the
Talked about it.
So they're like, "Wait, where's Julian?" And then like
He's
appears
like,
at the
"You
door.
rang?"
Slams the door
Here
open.
I am.
Saunters in.
Hey guys, where's Chandler? Could I be any more timely?
Totally.
Sorry.
He has some good info though for him. I guess he's seen a woman with a white streak in her hair above the left ear. I believe one of them. Wait, I thought it was something else. So that's one of the Black Aja, right? I forget which one.
Yeah, I forget which one too, but he says, like, I don't ask questions, I just talk, and people talk if we're buying drinks and stuff. But it is noted that he came back with a black eye. His hair was all fucked up. He looked kind of tousled. He, you know, and he's like, nah, I just talk to people. Who knows?
Yeah, they talk over cheap ale, he says, right?
How'd he get his ass kicked then? Or I mean, you should have seen the other guy, huh?
Yeah. Totally.
What?
So what are the girls getting made up as? Locals?
That's what it sounds like. It says that what's her name? Mistress Rendra. It wanted to pretty much make a dress just like the one she was wearing.
Right.
And in fact, our last drinking obligation of the chapter is this line. She fingered her own deep golden braids.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Slanja. All right, and it ends with them just kind of saying, all right, yeah, Elaine is remembering that not only are they looking for Black Aja, and if they're all there in Tanchico, they're looking for something. They're there for a reason. It's not Nynaeve and Elaine. Nynaeve and Elaine were chasing them because, quote, something able to, if the Black Aja was in Tanchico, then so was whatever it was that endangered Rand. Something able to bind him to his own power, or with his own power. So
something in the
they got a bit on their plate right now.
Yeah, something in the Natural History Museum of the Panarch.
They're putting it together. Yep.
It's a big dinosaur head. It's T-Rex, big T-Rex bone.
T-Rex head.
There's a prophecy that a big T-Rex head falls, like like in the Jurassic Park movie, like the banner, like, and it Rand gets eaten. But they didn't know they called it dragons. They didn't know that there was dinosaurs. They just called it a dragon. So, oh shit! I just spoiled it. All right, Rand gets eaten by a dinosaur. The end.
Damn it! That's the
smooth operator, Dan.
I'm done.
Yeah, god damn it. My bad. Is there anything else about this chapter that I missed or that you wanted to address further?
I'm sure there is, but God, we got so much to cover. Let's just go on.
Okay. Chapter 40 is Hunter of Trollocs, and it is a Perrin chapter. Perrin it starts off where they're camping, I guess, right near his farm. He's hanging out cross-legged at the farm. There are 14 bodies that are new to the Ibar grave.
Right.
And he names them all. He and is sitting there grieving.
In the rain. So heavy, so emo.
And then he starts thinking about arrows.
14 graves, 17 arrows.
I mean, so is he having? Does he have a problem processing his grief? As he's thinking about this thing, suddenly he starts touching his arrows, and he's like, "Oh, I only got 17. I gotta go to the Fletcher there. I gotta do."
He's got to go to Buell
digging
Downtree.
into his side.
He's like, Buell Downtree made good arrows, even better than Tam. He's all thinking, warlike and battle tactics. It's kind of like his little a little distraction from his broken heart.
And up rides Fael and Luke. And so let me ask you, has Fael been to this place yet?
Been to what place?
The
parents' family farm.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. He's at his farm. Fael had said, I would love to go with you if you'll have me. He's like, I don't have time yet for that. And then went on his own. He didn't bring her.
Right.
And doesn't seem to be processing his grief that fully, perhaps. Or maybe he's already done it and he's done with it. And as he's sitting there, he's like, yeah, look at all these graves, but I need more arrows. And I don't know. To me, it's a little odd. Did you find that odd at all? This whole thing with them just camping right by his farm and all this stuff?
I think it's like wartime PTSD. I think it's we're seeing like Jordan's real life experience with like the damage of war here. Mm-hmm. And
possibly
like referencing a soldier's inability to like cope or like fully like process in the face of reality, the cruel reality. That was my impression. Agreed. But I mean, it might just be also that Perrin is not all there emotionally,
or he's blinded by revenge. He just wants to kill Trollocs. He's just like.
I mean, that is what he kind of gets into later, is like regretting his bloodlust, like basically his like feeling blinded by his desire for revenge and getting back at the Trollocs for what they've done.
I mean, up until then, though, he had a pretty good record. There were 32 Trollocs in one raid, 41 in a fade in the other, and they hadn't lost a man. It sounded like they were crushing. They were crushing. They were absolutely crushing. Fael decides to stay. Lord Luke does not. Before that, it says.
Wait, one thing though.
What?
Oh yeah, just how just going back to Perrin and company crushing it, all their victories, and then he gets word that he's called like Perrin Golden Eyes, apparently Hunter of Trollocs. So things are looking good, man, for Perrin and company. They got the wind behind their backs.
What do you think of that nickname?
He's not too happy about it, right?
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be. But what do you think about it?
I think
it's awesome.
It's apt, whether or not he likes it or not. Yeah.
I think deep down he kind of likes it.
Well, it's also like that medieval, like, where like they'll be like, oh, that's William the Bald. Right. That's a one-legged Joe, and that's all you're known by is that one feature. That's Fat Steve. That's Perrin Golden Eyes.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I like Kay's question here.
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Get your ass baby.
I've thought about the Trollocs a lot, actually, and just like what they represent. They're like mindless, kind of cannibalistic, just killing to kill. It kind of reminded me of Nazis. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, let's not kid though. I mean, so.
I mean, we know that like.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think people have brought this up before, but if you draw the parallels with Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
being based on World War I, and like then Jordan's experience of Vietnam, you can imagine it being mapped.
Vietnamese.
I mean, I don't know necessarily that it's a one-to-one mapping, but certainly the Vietnam War had its own type of fucked upness about it, whether you're looking at it from the Americans' behavior or from the enemies. I mean, enemies in quotes.
Sure.
Well, I think Robert Jordan, he grew up in the aftermath of World War II. Also, he was born in like 1948. So like the World War II was like super fresh, probably.
Fresh in cultural memory.
In cultural memory. I don't know. Yeah, who knows? It could be like a Nazi Vietnamese hybrid.
Well, I like Matt's comment here, but I thought that they had human eyes. Like,
all too human. Yeah.
All too human eyes, right? So I might disagree a little with the zero human in them, because we get several of these flashes where people are like killing a Trolloc, but they're like stunned by the humanness of their eyes.
Well, and without getting like overtly political, so what we have are Trollocs entering the two rivers by some what seems to be a magical means, and coming in numbers and decimating villages. Could this not be an analogy for Americans coming over to Vietnam?
Absolutely.
And walking through rice paddies and
that's a good one.
And burning down villages their own way. I mean, obviously we didn't put any in the cook pots, but I mean, that's a great question, KayK.
But metaphorically, we put them in the cook pots, I mean, I think Americans did some serious atrocities.
Could Robert Jordan like be associating actions this way with Trolloc behavior and the experiences that he went through in the war? I don't know, but I think that these are really important questions to kind of to kind of flesh out, maybe, and get some empathy for all over. Even if we're wrong, we're trying to be empathetic,
I hope that they get into how Trollocs are created, because Tolkien talked about like how orcs and how the other ones were created. And,
right.
But
kind of an important part.
I can't really say anything
of that mythology. I do wonder if there's some parallels with the tunnels of Chu-Chi in Vietnam versus like the ways. I was thinking about that the other day.
Are those like the honeycombed tunnels?
The honeycomb tunnels that were like booby trapped, and like just some really fascinating but also like scary war stories from them. Like,
interesting.
Anyhow, hard to not get political with this, but I'm sure that that's one thing we don't touch on very often, but there does seem to be some hidden political agendas within the text.
Indeed.
Yeah, I like these discussions. But we do want to get through 4 chapters. So let me get us back here. We do have 32 fades, or I'm sorry, 32 and 41 Trollocs. That by my math, it's 73 Trollocs wiped out, and a fade. Piece of cake. Boom. We're awesome. We're run by Parent Goldeneyes. We are Trolloc hunters, baby. But since the rain, they haven't smelt any. Lord Luke's like, maybe they just ran away. Maybe you were that effective. Maybe it worked. He's like, yeah, I don't think so. And so everyone decides to stay with Perrin, including Fael. Lord Luke's like, well, I'm off to defend your people. Peace. And
I love how Edmund's Field in their description is like Manetheren light.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like
all the taste and less calories.
all the taste with less calories. We see this like emergence of, oh, they're just farmers, but then like, I imagine when we get to see what's going on firsthand, that it's gonna be just like fucking like raw,
Right.
war preparation and like
Shit's
all
gonna get
these
raw, bro.
the Manetheren
Pitchfork
blood
committee.
like coming out,
Well, Gaul runs up and he's like, "Hey guys, there's Trollocs, about 20 of them. We can cut them off if we leave now." We're like, well, fuck it. Yeah, let's go now. Fuck it. Let's go. Tear down the camp. Boom. Camp's done. Boom.
We're badass.
They're off.
Yeah, let's go get them.
We're badass motherfuckers. We got it. Fael's like, I'm with my man. Lord Luke's like, huh, that's a pity. Huh. Fuck. All right. Huh. I thought it was. Huh. Okay. And then he leaves.
He's like, whatever. I don't care. No.
I don't care. I don't even care. I gotta go work. I gotta go to work anyway, babe. There are
line.
70. Go ahead.
Luke smiled fractionally, a gash on stone that never came close to those cold blue eyes.
Gash on stone. I like that.
Totally, dude.
There are 70 people with Perrin. They total 70. They're like, fuck, man, we're seasoned Trolloc hunters now. We could take down 20. Gaul's my man. He knows what he's talking about. Boom. No sweat. They make it. They're gonna. So there was discussion about whether waiting to let them camp and then killing them in their sleep, or just taking them on.
Oh, right.
Perrin decides we're just gonna take them on. We're just gonna meet them. We're gonna ambush them. We're gonna kill them.
I like this part, right? You know, they're where the Trollocs are. They know where the Fade. You know, Gaul's like, you know, they're marching in single file line slowly. You know, and we could get them right here. We gotta wait, but you know, and then Perrin's like, you know, it was hard because all the rain that's been happening. It's like washed away the Trolloc scents and trails. Mm-hmm. And this is because, you know, Varen put she conjured the storm, you know, with the one power. And this got me thinking about Varen a little bit.
Okay.
She conjures the storm, you know, and she's like, oopsie, I didn't mean for it to last this long. Like, and these rains are like covering up the Trolloc tracks and like making it more difficult for Perrin. But it made me just think about, you know, what Kay was getting at with Varen, her suspicion, being a dark friend. Just another like little RJ kind of hint, I think. I don't know. Or to throw someone.
Okay, all right. So the excuse, well, what Perrin is saying is that like, yeah, she fucking brought the storms and it kind of went crazy and she brought more than was expected. Right. You were saying that these storms she actually threw down to fuck up Perrin?
Was expected. All right, you could look at it. You know, you could read that into it. I don't know.
I like, I'm a fan of your suspicion there. I still think she's turned. Maybe not turned is the right word, but she's
being tempted.
Tempted or tainted, as the case may be.
Oh, that's an interesting thought.
I love that.
Like she's in the process of being turned, but she's like got her feet in both. She's on the.
Or maybe she's not
tainted.
Maybe she has been turned, but is still fighting back. It's so hard to tell. Like,
oh, RJ, you're so good.
So, what do we think of Ivan then? Ivan is not associated with Varen. Varen's warder's name is Tomas. Ivan is a warder of Alana.
Alana's warder.
He kills the Fade, severs his head, and is
Oh, that's
like,
right.
yeah, I was looking for you, but you're kind of hard to find. He's pretty nonchalant about pretty much everything, but he shows up at the nick of time.
Yep. Ambushed by the Trollocs, I guess.
I mean, is that suspicious to you at all, or no?
Was he traveling with the Trollocs? Was he? I mean, this is what got me wondering, like, who set them up, right? Like, did they? It seems like Gaul's mistake was a manipulation on their part.
I was wondering.
So how did they know to do that? Was it strategic? Was it guided by someone like Alana or Varen?
Or a warder, like, yeah.
Or Ivan?
Or Luke?
Multiple Luke?
Or
exactly.
Yeah.
Which makes sense,
or
Luke,
Deeth.
Which makes sense because
Or
Luke was
DeeTee,
like,
sure, yeah.
but Luke was like, later, I'm cutting. You guys could go after the Trollocs.
Yep, and then the
I'm going
Trollocs
back to
show up.
Edmondsfield.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm going back to Edmondsfield. Yep.
Well, they did
It could
ride
also-
for an hour or so, or a couple hours before they got to the
Couple
spot.
hours, yeah. And then, like, that's more than enough time, though, for Luke to have gone to the Trollocs, notified them, and then headed back to, Evans Field, potentially.
I'm not a fan of Luke. I've made this point clear. I think Luke is fucking Slayer. There,
I think it's
said
totally
it.
a possibility still, too.
I've
Yeah.
said it before. That's my prediction, damn it. If I was a gamble, man.
Luke. I have a brother-in-law named Luke. So every time we say Luke, I'm thinking of my weird brother-in-law. He's cool. All right. Perrin. All right. Trollocs attack from the back way. And guess what? There's more than 20. Ivan says there's close to 100. He's guessing. Perrin's like, for my mother, burn you, my mother. Starts smashing pulp. Bah, bah, bah. Smash, smash, smash. 2 rivers to me. 2 rivers to me. 2 rivers. 2 rivers. There's only a couple 2 rivers. He's like, oh, fuck. Fael, where are you? No, Fael. And then the Faye jumps down and is like, Fael? Oh, she was fucking delicious. Thanks for her. Thank you. Yeah, she was yummy. I just ate her with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Ivan to the rescue. It's 100 Trollocs.
I like it. He cut off his head. He cuts the Fade's head off. And it, like,
Cuts the Fade's head off. Yep.
It like bounces off his shoulder, the Fade's shoulder, or some shit.
So, I mean, so this is something that is common with snakes and lizards per se. I think with chickens too. I don't think with humans, but like with snakes, I know if you cut off the head, they like of a rattlesnake, it will flop around for a good 10 or 15 minutes still. Flopping around. I wonder if this is where Robert Jordan is getting that idea for this reaction to death that that a Fade has. But I do know that there are certain creatures that this does happen.
Definitely.
Well, it does seem to imply that they're creatures of God, my brain is already shutting off. It's getting late.
Reptilian nature.
Creatures
We'll
not of
take a break in
habit,
just a
but of doing things on instinctiveness, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like this involuntary nervous reflex,
Right.
kind of thing. But it is still trying to kill.
Mhm.
It is flailing its sword
instinctive
with
to
no
just
head.
kill.
Still,
Trying to
yeah,
stab.
still just whipping around. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are 27 people from Perrin's 70 who die. Perrin takes an arrow to his ribs, and it's a drinking obligation because, quote, She gently pulled his coat away from the thick shaft in an effort to examine where it had gone in.
Damn, RJ.
I'm such a freaking sixth grader with this game. Thick shaft, I'm all giggity.
It's a bar.
But they end up Fael's fine, 26 other people are fine. Or no, like 50 52, how many?
53.
No, 42.
43. 27
43.
died.
43 people are living.
Yep.
Yeah, so Fael and 42 other people. So 43 people are alive. He's like, fuck, I fucked that up. Ivan, are they going to attack us? He's like, yeah, probably not. Just act tough. The Miradrill's dead, so they'll probably just hit a farm. He's like, well, I do have a weird drinking obligation because I have a question about it. It says, like Yvonne, alert as a coiled whip. Isn't a coiled whip just like you stored it, like you put it on a hoop, like you put it in a corner and you coil it? It's on your. I don't understand that. Alert like a coiled whip seems like not that alert.
Interesting.
But anyways,
Ready to strike.
I
I think a coiled whip is ready to strike, you know?
Is it?
Like snakes
Yeah.
coil. Yeah, they coil before they attack, right? I don't know. Fuck.
Yeah, but
I see what you're
whips.
saying, brother
If you
Dan.
coil them, it means that you're like storing it.
It allows
I
you
don't know.
to fling it out.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a stretch. I mean, I think you're right, but I think it's also not the greatest metaphor. Simile, not the greatest simile, because it said like. So they're walking. They're like, oh, we're fucked up. Parents like just counting the names in his head, and they hear music. I'm like, I know what that is. It's freaking tickers. And the chapter ends. We're going to take a 10-minute break, but is there anything else that we wanted to talk about before this? Y'all?
I'm good.
Y'all?
I'm good, man. We're about to go party with the Tinkers.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Tinks.
Okay. I'm getting an all caps correct, Josh.
Yeah, snakes do that too. They coil, don't they?
Yeah, before they strike.
Todd, are you just finishing the chapter now during the break?
Dedication.
That's right, dude. Let's go. I got it all. It's right here.
You are wonderful. All right. So thank you for Ryan for that new intermission. I love them. Keep them coming. And if you guys, if any of you at home do music, send us. Maybe we'll do a little video. Maybe we'll add it to our intermission break.
Repertoire.
Yeah, come on. We've been asking for like 2 years, and no one sent us a song ever.
That's not true.
Guys. I mean, besides people that are on the show every week.
Well, I was actually thinking about our friend from Sweden, but
Oh, the bard.
You're right. We did have Andro in that. Yeah.
Andro. So yes, people bring the songs, please.
bring it.
Join the Shadow Pals and have yourself some fun.
I love that song.
I love it.
Hilarious.
Bad songs are just as good as good songs.
Yes,
we
yes,
accept.
yes, Mr. Dovie. Send me every song. Every song.
The bar is low.
All the songs.
Todos los what song? cantamos.
You know how bad our taste is. We wouldn't even have to pretend.
I went. No,
sure
I
it'd be
no,
delightful.
yeah.
No, the bar is low. We love everything. At least I do.
Ryan's at a Black Midi concert right now. Send us anything. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be.
He's willing to
right?
listen to 12-year-olds from UK make post-hardcore.
It's fun though.
I think
I like
I'm
that
gonna call
drummer.
that band
The drummer is a
Fun with
badass.
Pedals.
Flock of.
Yeah, they're like, oh wait, we gotta stop the song for 42 seconds while we change our pedal settings.
Well,
We're still playing, right? Oh.
No, hold on. This isn't the right feedback. Let me get the right feedback. There it is.
Perfect.
Hey,
Speaking of
I'm gonna.
music-
Ryan's on the phone right now. I got him on FaceTime. Hold on. Hey,
Speaking of music,
this is amazing! I can't believe it! This is the best gift ever. Thank you, Carissa.
Dude, that was a good impression.
Very nice. Good impression.
Dude, that was awesome, bro. Oh my
All
God.
right.
He is his brother.
He's
Yeah.
my brother. He's my brother.
Blood.
Oh my god!
Blood Brothers. Remember that?
I
band?
exaggerate when I do an impression of my brother. I do exaggerate that one feature.
You
So
don't say.
everything I do just yells. It's a thing. All right, guys.
We are among
Chapter-
the Tuathon.
41. Among the Tuathon. I knew it.
Thanks.
I heard the music. I heard the parties. It's
Happy
it's
people
a traveling.
by the sound. Yep.
It's a traveling
Truly a
Lollapalooza
party.
over there. It's a little Coachella on wheels. I don't know what else. They find the Tuathon. They're like, oh hey, it's the traveling people. The IO are like, yep, I'm gonna fuck off. Thank you very little.
We're
I'm not
out.
gonna hang out with you. The lost
Yeah, they're
ones.
out, man.
The lost ones.
Baron here is Chad. Mentioned Maiden's Kiss in reference to Gaul. Baron's like, oh, that sounds fun. Have fun. And they go into it is the Tinkers that they had met before. It's Rain and Isla. Hey, Rain. Hi, Isla. Good to see you. And your grandson, Aram. I'm like, Parent
Aram's in the
Elvira.
house.
Look at your eyes. You chase wolves, don't you? You're a wolf
you
chaser.
wolf dancer.
Just like,
Yep.
he's like, I don't know. He's like, you guys just got to
like
split,
Elias.
man.
Elias
This ain't
Machera.
safe.
Oh, wait.
It's like just, just like 5 miles back there. There were Trollocs. I got an arrow in me. All these people are fucked up. You guys got to go to Emmons Field. They're like, yeah, that's what they all say. I like this line, though. Quote, when men have built 10 houses together, there is the potential for violence.
10. That's all you need. That's all you need.
That's all you
folks.
need. Because then people
small
get
townlet.
territorial and yeah,
I like this measure.
I mean,
I like this measure.
I like that.
That's all you need.
Any amount of culture or civilization.
I am
basically.
making a drinking obligation to the line. Quote, maybe they abhorred violence too much for a TAVERN to overcome. Maybe even a TAVERN cannot fight the way of the Leaf.
Ooh,
Yeah.
This was an awesome line.
Here's to you. Here's to me. The best of friends will always be.
So TAVERN, yeah, the way of the leaf is more powerful than the
Can't
TAVERN.
it better than TAVERN.
Better. You heard it right here, folks.
Yeah.
The show's better than fucking TAVERN.
But before that, here's a line I wanted to mention, and I wish Ryan was here to talk about this line, actually. It says, quote, he knew this man, this Mahdi or seeker of this band. What chance, he wondered, of all the tinkers in the world, what chance it should be folk I know? Coincidences made him uneasy. When the pattern produced coincidence, the wheels seemed to be forcing events. I'm beginning to sound like a bloody Aes Sedai.
Yep.
What?
Parents
So
thinking,
Ryan, we talk about coincidence a bit. Is
free will, right? This is kind of like adjacent to the free will conversation.
Yeah, so when the pattern produced coincidence, the wheels seemed to be forcing events. Do you agree with that?
sounds plausible. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it still creates an opening for novelty to emerge.
It does. Yeah, that's it. Like has a sensitivity. There's a sensitivity.
But it does create an opportunity for the thing, whatever things to occur, right? Like,
yeah, there's. Go on.
Doesn't mean that there is no free will, but it does mean that you're getting set up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we had just seen Baal Doman with Nynaeve. So I don't know if that is a TAVERN coincidence. Is it a normal coincidence, or is it pulled by the girls, or is the TAVERN pull of Rand so strong that he may need Baal Doman? I mean, there's so many threads. I mean, that's why it's called a web, I guess, because there's so many potential threads to pull these two weird strings
together. Mm-hmm. I mean, I still think that the girls are TAVERN themselves. I mean, I know I said that from the beginning, but
probably degrees of TAVERN.
Yeah.
Like the main TAVERN has the strongest pull, and then their pulls kind of string off into other like lesser pulls. I think I don't know. It's very interesting.
Gravitational force.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder, because they call it the age of lace, or the lace of age, or whatever. Like it's described as, I'm picturing like a doily, I guess, in my head. And I'm wondering if TAVERN are in the middle, or if they're one of like the main like I don't know, man. It's a funky thought process to try and place a TAVERN. Where does it land within the creation of either a web or a lace? Is it like a new thing? I don't know.
I mean, I still think they're like archetypical stories that are told, and these characters, these reincarnations of these characters, are these like, I think of it as like a path that water has flowed down before, right? Yes, water can supersede the pre-existing pathway, but there are these channels by which it has memory and can flow. But you give it enough force and it can create new pathways or overrun the entire thing, or create
like new tributaries, or we're talking fluvial erosion. No.
Fluvial erosion. And I mean, if you want to go with the weaving metaphor, like I think of the TAVERN as more like the shuttlecock of the thread, right? They're like the thing making the pattern emerge, the picture emerge in the tapestry, or the pattern emerge in the tapestry, rather than just one of the strings.
Are they? Is the pattern? Is it just like a quilt that's trying to draw them?
Or wait, like the TAVERN is like the needle threading.
Yeah, the shuttlecock, which is the thing that like moves the thread across the weave.
I was gonna ask you what a shuttlecock was.
It's like what
I-
the weaver carries the thread through to create the
Right,
color,
right.
the pattern within the. I mean, if you're looking at a tapestry,
I thought it was
like,
the thing that you hit in badminton, and I was like,
It is-
all right,
it
they're
is
just
that as
hitting it
well,
back and
yeah.
forth.
It is that as well.
That's what I was like. Okay, I'm like, okay, the shuttlecock, it's going back and forth over the net. Okay.
Very cool.
Think of the pattern as the weaver, right?
Yeah.
And the TAVERN as that which carries the thread, and then the rest of humanity as the threads themselves.
Okay.
I like it.
I hear that. All right, let's move on. Let's but there is that line, which is, I mean, this is like one of our favorite discussions, but Perrin has a
will
barbed
continue.
arrow in his ribs. Yeah, he's got a barbed arrow. He snapped off most of it so he could fight, but he's got 4 inches of quote 4 inches of thumb thick arrow stick out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to drink to that just because
4 inches. Yeah.
Because it's thumb thick,
It's a great measure hit.
Perrin says, quote, I blundered. No, that's too soft. I don't know the right word. You done fucked up. I mean, we have better vocabulary than them. If the best he could go was like, I blundered. Guys, I blundered. God, have you ever seen a worse blunderer than this blunderbuss? I shit the fan. I fucking I pooped my pants and it ejaculated nothing but disappointment. Hey, come on, Perrin.
He had a bad day.
Blundered.
Yeah.
That's a bit too soft. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, do we think that he fucked up? The information he got was that they were coming from this side. He was downwind from where he thought. He's like, yeah, perfect. I'm gonna smell these bitches. I guess he did fuck up by leaving his back exposed, though, right? Or was the fuck up him not waiting until they go to sleep?
I think it was pride, is what he's referring to. His pride that they were capable,
Yeah.
right? And his misjudging of them is only 30, which he can't really be blamed for, given it was Gall who made the assessment. But
Gall's been like pretty much the best guy to have on your team ever.
yeah, up to this point for sure.
Well, Perrin blundered. I fucking blundered, man.
That was a bloody blunder.
Yeah.
Right, hey Todd, can your band It Looks Like a Black Hole, can you do a song called I Blundered? No, that is too soft. I don't know the right word.
Yeah, because we have super long song titles.
You have long
It'll be
titles,
perfect.
so I think that would be a good one.
It'll be perfect. Put like 3 or 4 layered guitars over it and a nice like post rock drum beat. It'll fucking be great.
Yeah. That
That's
or
all it is.
I Trust You and This Axe and My Bow or whatever. Perrin gets into the wagon. He's like all weeded out. Aram shows up. Aram. Perrin's like, fuck off, Aram. I don't like you.
That's
You
a
smile
brief
too much.
encounter. That's a brief
Yeah.
encounter.
Go away, Aram. I'm tired. Is Egg with you? He's like, she'll fucking kill you. Go away. Sorry. Fayo's like, hey, Isla gave me some powder to help you sleep, help with the pain. He's like, I don't want any powder. Tell me about your dad. And she gives her history. Her dad is actually a pretty badass dude. Quote,
3-titled, yeah.
My father is Davrim of House Bashir, Lord of Bashir, Tyre and Sedona, Guardian of the Blight Border, Defender of the Heartland, Marshal General to Queen Tenobia of Saldea, and her uncle.
And her uncle.
He's all,
yeah.
fuck. What? What? Why'd you lie?
Lol,
Like,
what?
I thought your dad did stuff with sheep. She's like, yeah, he owns people that do
He
that.
does. Yeah.
I thought he was a merchant. Yeah, he owns people that do that. I don't know. We have lots of money. He probably does it.
Kind of.
She turns out she decided to just split because her 2 older brothers died, and she became the oldest, and all she had to learn was like how to be a merchant, how to be like a leader, run their business, father's businesses instead of like off to adventure. He says, quote, and here's the drinking obligation. They are being readied for adventures. So I don't think I'm readying my kids for adventures. I think I'm setting them up. I'm trying to make them. I don't know if that's like my goal is for them to like, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad they do, but anyway, they were being readied for adventures, which is rad.
Readied. Yep.
Oh, it is in the Wheel of Time. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a beer, but I'm still here. I'm just gonna.
Okay. So
Fix that.
So Fail's like, all right, you told me about. I told you about me. Tell me about you. What's all this wolf shit? And he shares it. He's
Lay
like,
it on me.
he spills some wolf.
Finally.
And I'm sure they're happier for it, man.
They're having a moment. They're revealing.
They're talking about
That's a drinking obligation right there.
What's that? Which one?
Oh, I just made one.
Tell me. I'll drink it.
Revealing themselves to each other. No, they're just
That only happens in
both
Perrin's
Perrin
dream.
Fail are having this moment.
His opium
Having
fantasy.
this moment together.
Doesn't
gets
doesn't
drugged.
she basically dose him on poppies? I mean, on morphine?
Sounds like some type of sedative.
Yeah, it's a sedative for sure. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it could. I mean, they have all kinds
It's
of like.
described made me think of morphine for sure.
Yeah, it could be. Well, I don't know. Here's a drinking obligation. Swallowing, he spluttered at the bitter taste.
That's what. Yeah,
Buttered.
definitely made me think opium or poppies. Some kind
Have you
of.
drunk opium? Is it bitter?
It's bitter. Yeah, really bitter. I mean, that's the compounds in it are bitter.
She says, "Sleep, my wolf king, sleep," because apparently her parents are bad fucking ass. He's like, "What are they gonna think about this half wolf blacksmith?" And she's like, "Actually, my dad's gonna be pretty stoked. He thinks our line's getting weak. We could use some wolf blood in our fucking line." And my mom just wants someone who can take down a Trolloc with one axe, with one hit of their sword. Your axe will probably do. And can I say you're the king of the wolves? No one's going to challenge you on that, right? He's like, oh, Jesus.
What have I got myself into?
What family are you? They do think that Fael's pretty soft, although she has held her own so far in fights-ish. She saved Perrin's ass more than once.
Well, wasn't she like not allowed to use swords or be trained because of her role as the eldest?
Yeah, she was.
I don't know if it wasn't she was allowed. It said, girls are not taught the sword or war in Saldea, but father had named an old soldier from his first command as my footman, and Aaron was always more than happy to teach me to use knives and fight with my hands. I think it amused him. In any case, when father took blow, I went off. She wrote a letter and said, I'm out. I'm off to adventure.
I'm gonna go
Adventure.
hunt for the horn. Hunt for the horn.
Adventure. All right, so
Scary.
Perrin gets drugged. She's like, "Here, you sound scratchy. Here, take a drink." He's like, "What? This is bitter." Covers his mouth.
Oh, there's like
Sleep, my Wolf King.
there is like a very touching moment though right here. Like
Talk to me.
Perrin's like, "I suppose you are the Lady Bashir or some such," he said. "How did you ever come to like a common blacksmith?" And File says, "The word is love, Perrin Ibara." Ooh.
Right.
Word is love.
Oh, the word is love. That's like some. Is that like an Erasure song? The word is love. I don't know.
And the firmness of her voice was as sharp odds with the gentle way that the cloth moved on his face.
Such a touching.
I like that. But she does drug him for his own good. She's like,
And
"You
then
need
she
to
drugs
sleep."
him. I love it.
I don't know.
Says that.
I don't know.
She says that, and then she
So-
drugs him.
Do you think that Perrin, in spilling his story about the wolves, talked about Tel'aran'rhiod?
The Wolf Dream?
Yeah. Do you think that he
Oh, yeah,
kind of
that comes
mentioned?
up.
Oh, by the way, yeah, my dead wolf friend. I see him in my dreams every day, and we have
We go
adventures.
and we hunt. I mean, he does mention that in the Wolf Dream, he like can forget that he's a man, right?
Yeah, it says it's so
Right.
easy. Sometimes, especially in the dream, I forget I'm a man. So okay, yeah, good point.
Yeah, so
So
he
I
at
guess
least
he
talks
did
about it
mention
to some
dream, yeah.
degree. Yeah.
And they do have
He's like, if I get-
he saved her in the dream world
Right.
too at one point, so that makes sense. All right, we're gonna move on to chapter 42 because it's just a direct continuation. If you want to call back at all, that's fine. But Perrin gets knocked out, and boom, he's at the Tinker Wagon. He's like, "Fucking A, she drugged me. That's great, great."
I love this idea of
Um,
the Tinker Wagon's insubstantiality because they're not tied to any one land.
Right.
Just such a cool,
That's really interesting.
yeah, such a neat kind of psychedelic way of approaching it.
Yeah. No, he says no soil held them.
Yeah, so they're just kind of like this shimmery. Yeah, they're there just kind of right now.
And he's really seems connected to the Manetheren soil or the soil of his land. So it's definitely in contrast to his own experience.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So that's how he relates to them.
Very cool.
Then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's funny that he
He
considered
also-
the way of the leaf, you know.
What's also
Mhm.
Go ahead, Todd. Sorry.
oh, and just to add to that, it's kind of like the Wolf Dream or Tel'aran'rhiod. It can't even handle the Tinkers, right? Because they're always moving. I don't
They're
know.
ephemeral. Kind of within this.
They're ephemeral, or just it can't handle the Wolf Dream. Can't handle it. It can't like bring it into its world because they're always moving, which is a good point. I don't know. Kind of another.
Well, and adding to your psychedelic statement there, Josh, here's the line, or actually the whole paragraph here. My glasses fell, but it says, bending to replace a doll with a smiling glass face and a flower embroidered dress, some woman had loved her daughter to do all that tiny needlework. He blinked. The same doll still sat on the fieldstone steps where he'd picked it up. As he reached out, the one in his hand faded and vanished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's just tripping right now. Like this,
Totally.
like having. I mean, yeah, he's just like sitting there playing with a doll and watching it dissolve and being like, "Whoa!"
And how much of that is about
Whoa.
how much of that too is about his younger sister or his younger siblings? You know, like I felt like that was somehow connected to his grief and like the loss of his siblings and like his own detachment from childhood by being thrown into this role as a TAVERN. Because they all left as children, and now he returns basically like as a man, and his own childhood is like fleeted away. I just that was a cool symbol I thought within the text. I also love this paragraph. In contrast to the Tinkers.
No, but real fast though, Josh, I fucking love that. That is probably one of the greater insights I've heard as far as like connect. Go on, but I fucking, god damn it, I love that. Well done.
Good. So in contrast to the Tinkers, this is about Perrin. Wondering how much the land held him, he rested a hand on his axe. And this goes back to us talking about Perrin's hammer versus the axe and like which one he's chosen at what different times, right? I looked down in surprise. The heavy blacksmith's hammer hung on the loop in his belt, not the axe. He frowned. Once he would have chosen that way. Had even thought he had, but surely no more. The axe. He had chosen the axe. Hammerhead suddenly became half moon blade and thick spike, flickered back to stout cylinder of cold steel, fluttered between. Finally it stopped, as his axe, and he exhaled slowly. Just like
finish that. Actually, just finish that.
Yeah,
whole
that had never happened
paragraph.
before. Here he could change things as he wanted with ease, things about himself at least. And I want the axe, he said firmly. The axe.
Yeah.
Man, that's some good opium that she gave him.
Shit.
That's helping it.
No
Maybe
joke.
it's like it's enhancing his like experience in the wolf dream. I don't know.
More fully entering it.
Anyway.
I mean, he already enters it too strongly, as Hopper likes to say.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and all right, so let me ask you: so there, when Perrin at the end of his whole thing, he bounces away, and then kind of has a sex dream, a carefree sex dream. He is not that he doesn't think he's being hunted. He doesn't. He just has a romp. Was he in a different like realm? In the dream world itself, could Slayer have found
During
him
his romp?
Yeah.
Well, he leaves the wolf dream and just enters a normal dream. That was how I.
That's what I'm asking. So
yeah, I think he leaves the wolf dream. He leaves TAR, and then enters into a normal dream state where he loses himself and then presumably awakens the next day. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Is that how you see it, Todd? That they're two separate places, or do you think that
so.
Slayer could have possibly was still around, maybe?
Yeah, because right before that, he says he would not play Slayer's game, and he kind of gets out of it.
Yeah, with a wry smile or something.
And then it's like, he stepped out of the wolf dream, telling himself to wake, and
then this happens. Yeah,
he grabs Fio. They go into some soft grass. I like that.
Right, with a mirthless smile. Which, guys, give me a mirthless smile. Okay, then all right, good. That was way better than I expected.
Nailed it.
There is Waygate shit going on that Perrin sees. So apparently Perrin can see current events, right?
It's really cool.
He
Yeah.
sees the Waygate. It's closed.
This was super cool.
It's open. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to say, Perrin's my boy. I love Perrin, but there's some really poor. He isn't made to look great with his internal dialogue here.
Okay.
pride
I
in
I see what
his
you're saying.
masculinity and stuff. I don't know. It's just like there's some sort of tastelessness in it.
Well,
This is
I
like-
will get more into that when he gets into the village, and when he sees all the people, all the villagers, all he does is talk shit about them in his head.
Oops.
So even
When
with
he
the
enters the
Tinkers-
village, you mean when he goes to Edmund's Field?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We haven't gotten to that yet in these chapters.
Oh,
right?
okay. All right. I thought I underlined him, but anyways, there's.
Oh no, you're right. We do briefly get there. Okay. Yeah.
So he sees someone who has a horse face. He sees big-eyed Celia. He sees that she's still pleasantly plump. He sees someone with his pipe and bald head. He sees a wide woman. He sees a scrawny man. I mean, not like. And when they're leaving the Tuathwan camp, there's a dude in his group that kind of hooks up a bit, right? It seems like fucking Will and Ban.
He's dancing,
and he's like Ban has a big old fucking nose. Even Ban's got a chick. He mentions Ban's nose 3 times.
He does, yeah, in short succession too.
Yep.
So he's a judgmental prick. There I said what I said.
No, he is, and it's a little disappointing.
I mean, I'm a guy who has a nose. I have a nose. People may have at one time.
What? I have a
2
nose.
times said I had a larger nose. Fuck it, man. Why? Come on, parent.
This hit home for you, right?
Why are you doing this, man?
It hit home to all the big nose.
So, what do we think about like this line quote? Strange to think that at that moment in the waking world, someone or something was passing through where he stood.
Oh, creepy.
I loved it. Yeah.
So Teleran is it adjusts in real time? I mean, is this the first time we've seen like a real time
Like
I think
adjusting from when something's in the waking world suddenly in the dream world?
I
think so.
I believe so. There might have been some other moment, but like this is really literal. He's seeing it happen, yeah. Like,
so the way gate is open. He's like, wait a minute.
he's like, wait,
I'll fix that. Well, yeah. Hold on. I'm trying to be
Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese.
It's a loyal with cheese.
You guys hear me?
Nice. Yeah.
Say again?
Okay. I was just making sure my headset didn't mute on me. I pressed the button by accident.
I could totally hear you, Josh.
I unmuted the disc. I didn't do any such thing.
I like this part too. Like, he has the sense of being watched, and this goes into it right here. There's always this sense everywhere of being watched. It seems
there is. This is something that's like a repeating arc.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like
motif.
It's like Naive had the sense of being watched, and like they're so
A
paranoid.
lot of times, it's like gray men too, or like someone using the one power. I always imagine like the Eye of Sauron, like kind of thing.
Watching over all.
Yeah, it said a sense of being watched was all the warning he had. And boom, this thing was aimed right at his chest. He's on that motherfucker. It says it had come from that direction at that angle when it reached him. So it had to come from. Pew! And he jumps up. He's like, I'm going to go get him. I'm going to go. Wait a minute. No, I'm
He's
gonna be
like,
smart than that. He's just
like,
I'm
I
gonna
got
go
this
here.
motherfucker. I got this
I'm gonna go pew. I'm gonna go over here. Pew. Now I'm gonna go pew. And look, I see him.
I see you.
There he is.
So is it Varen? Is it Alana? Is it Luke? Is it Strider? Or not Strider? Slayer?
Strider.
Okay,
Wrong
this
series.
is really interesting.
Who's placed the Avendasora leaf and reopened the Waygate?
It seems that Perrin thinks it's Slayer,
Right.
Well, and he
know.
kind of so.
but he looks like
Let's
Lan.
jump ahead a little bit. He says, it says, a neat trick, GoldenEye, is locking the Waygate. Mash and Shin feasted at that gate. It was only a few hundred to begin, GoldenEye, just enough to keep those fool white cloaks off balance and see that the renegade died. The shadow consume me if that man does not have more luck than the White Tower. So it seems like either this person watched the whole debacle go on, or was the one who said, "Wait a minute," and may have adjusted it, I suppose.
Oh, maybe
Who's the renegade?
I would guess. So that was what made me think of Ordeath.
Yeah,
Because Ordeath has he captured the Murdral and is like basically on his own, of his own volition, acting on his own behalf,
right.
rather than
thinks
under the
he's-
Dark Lord's command anymore.
Yeah, he thinks the Dark Lord can't kill him, or can't be killed. I was thinking it's Ordeath.
Okay.
Fane,
Hadden Fane.
one of the many names that he has.
Right on. He knows this guy knows him as GoldenEye.
Which didn't fucking Lord Luke
Interesting.
call him when last they met?
Isn't that the first person? Yeah.
Called
That's
him
the
that?
first person that mentions like that's how he's
he's
people are
known.
talking about him around like Edmondsfield.
No, I don't think he was the first. I think when he entered the hold on. Oh, he may have been the first actually. He may have been the first to mention that. I'm not I don't know. All right. Yeah. Anyways.
Yep,
Okay.
I think so.
So he does have a set. So he, instead of hunting this guy, he's like, yeah, no, he's actually tracking me. He has a mirthless smile. Josh did it perfectly. Todd did a good one. And then out of the wolf dream, telling himself to wake up. And quote, Fael twined her arms around his neck and nipped his beard with small white teeth, while Tinker's fiddle sang some wild, heated tune around the campfires. Eyeless powder, I can't wake up. Awareness that it was a dream faded. Laughing, he scooped Fael up in his arms and carried her into the shadows where the grass was soft.
The grass.
And fucked away.
To a heated tune. Yeah.
Wow. Trying to do a
Heated
wall walk out of it.
tune. That's gotta be a heated tune, Dan. Like, yeah, that's a heated tune, I guess.
So Fael mends his clothes after fingering his coat's gash the last time and refusing to.
Yep. And he said, thank you, Isla. He said, fingering the neat darns.
Yep.
So, the neat darns. Guys, I think everyone in our Discord right now, you guys are neat darns.
Neat darns.
To y'all.
Oh yeah. Dude, we
All
need
right.
heated tunes, man. Where's the heated tunes? Like
Oh god damn
for
it!
the background.
Right.
Dude, you
Speaking
gotta
of
heat me
which,
up. You gotta heat me
want
up.
some of
man.
this?
Yeah.
Come on, Dan. Teganza for us.
Perfect
Some
background.
Taganza music, right?
It's-
Hey, guys, make sure to tip your waitresses. Next on the baby doll stage, it's Cinnamon.
She's gonna be doing the Salala. What's that one dance?
All right, so we got the Taganza
Sasara.
and the
Sasara.
Sasara. Let me, all right, as I was reading
know.
this
I'm
today,
getting it.
here I came up with a theory, guys, and I want to run it by you, okay? We have, after one night, mind you, right? Quote, Will had each arm around a pretty big-eyed tinker girl, of course, and Ben Alcine with his nose and a bandage around his head, making his dark hair stand up in a brush, held hands with another smiling shyly. And then later when they say goodbye, there's just kisses galore. Oh, all right, so here's what I came up with, right? One of the stories about the traveling people is that they'll steal your children, right?
Right.
What if that is a metaphor that these women, if they
Ooh.
party with you all night, they do a fucking sex dance, and then they fuck you and will get pregnant and will steal your children by like traveling, and these women like will have babies without the father even knowing.
I think
Good theory.
Hot take.
it's a great theory.
Hot take.
Looks like rock and roll right there.
Says Lynn.
I think I'm onto something there.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, people are getting it wrong, you know. The young lads just want to get out there and dance to music,
Spread
hear
their
heated
wiles.
tunes, and
Or... I feel like I'm missing the.
oh god,
There's some term for it.
soil
So
the
this is
Sorrow wildly.
better.
soil the royal oats. What is it?
Yeah, the Tuganza's even
Benjamin
better, right?
Reno thinks I might be onto something. DKmoon. Okay. I think there's a backstory there. Mr. Dovie is just humming. Yeah. Spread the seed. That's how yeah, otherwise it's just inbreeding. So you gotta
Fresh blood.
Perrin had the sexy dance, but he didn't have sex with anyone. I bet you Will banged. I bet you fucking Ben banged. These people were boning last night. They were all, oh, I lost 27 of my friends just hours ago. Oh, can you work the shaft? Yeah. Cup the balls, work the shaft. Yeah. Oh gosh, I just had yeah. Watch your teeth. Yeah.
And is Perrin? Is he like jealous, kind of? I don't know. Because he got
He only got it in the dream world, so.
It's so bad shit it may be true. I think I'm onto something. I think they're not stealing kids. They're stealing kids that show up 9 months later. That's why they do the sex dance to every single guy that they see. Anyways,
Easy target.
I think I'm fucking onto something. I think, guys,
You're onto something.
I think I'm onto something. I wish.
I don't think you need
Ryan
to think.
was-
You're not even onto something. You got it.
I got it. Guy, you know what? Just for that, Josh,
Own that
when I
shit.
see you, I'm gonna dance Sarah.
You gonna Sasara for me?
I'm a Sarah.
okay. This is Let's talk about this
Great.
Sasara.
Well, yeah, it's apparently it says men have thrown their hearts and fortunes at the feet of women who dance to Sasara. And
His mother suspected I knew it.
parents like, then there isn't any reason for you to dance it, he said quietly. My heart and fortune, such as they are, already lie at your feet. She's like, fuck, you are too clever for me, she murmured. One day I will dance it for you and boil the blood in your veins. You already do that, he said, and she laughed again. Whoa! Parent is hey, you know, parents got game. You know, when they say, God, I wish I knew how to talk to women like Parent, that's what they're talking about. That's what they're talking about, guys. Parent has the most game out of all three. I will state it right there. Matt might be more roguish and hang out with more whores or loose. I won't say whores. People who like to fuck. Matt's down with people who like to fuck. Parent gets the cheerleader though. He's like, hey, baby,
yeah, smooth talker, genuine, very genuine and very authentic, and just.
He does quote. He held himself upright. I'm gonna say that's a drinking obligation. And then they're on their way. They one of the few songs. This is the second song in this book, though. We just had a song last week, I think, right?
We did, yeah.
And that's like the second song ever. I think there was one more, but there's not many songs, but there is one here. It is Coming Home from Tarwin's Gap. We know what Tarwin's Gap is. Tarwin's Gap is the funnel, the colon between the Blight and the Borderlands, more or less. It's like, you know, that the Persian versus Sparta.
It's where in the show the woman burns herself out with.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Which, I mean, so Tarwin's Gap is supposed to negate numbers. So I mean, if it's a gap, if you have 500,000 people, you can only get 20 through at a time. Then it negates your numbers a bit, right? That's what a gap is about. The show didn't really do that. The gap was just like
much wider.
They were just standing in like the valley of the gap to burn them all out. But anyways, we have a song. Todd, you want to sing the song for us? Do you do the first verse and then Josh, you do the second?
All right, here we go. Ready?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, I've seen Oh wait, let me start again.
No, above it.
I've seen stark Tarwin's Gap, and the Trollocs raving horde. Shoot, sorry.
No, come on, Todd. I need you to sing it. All right, I'll sing the first part. All right. My home is waiting for me and the girl I left behind. Of all the treasure that waits for me, that's what I won't find.
Oh, you're reading that one.
The eyes so merry, they smile so sweet. The hug so warm and the ankle neat. The kiss is hot, now there's a treat. If there's a treasure greater, it lies not in my mind. And you.
Oh, I've seen stark Tarwin's Gap and the Trollocs raving horde. I've stood for the Halfman's charge and walked on death's cold board. But a wisdom blast she waits for me for a dance and a kiss with under the tree. Yeah. Dude, I tried.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Thank you for duetting with me, Todd. I threw that on you. Sorry about that, dude, but that was fun.
I tried my darndest.
You did great.
It was a blunder. It was a blunder.
You didn't blunder. What's softer than that?
I like the last one. Neath the apple tree. That one got me.
A kiss neath the apple tree, yeah.
Neath. Anyways,
So apparently up in the borderlands, they have apple trees, guys. What do you know? Anyways.
Sure, they're
Um,
sour apples.
A parent
crab
hears the
apples.
song and
They're
he's
crab
a little baffled. It says, quote, parent shook his head. A day before they had been ready to run and hide. Today they sang about a battle so long ago that it had left no memory but this song in the two rivers. Perhaps they were becoming soldiers.
They
I
would
like
have
that
to
line.
unless he managed to close that way gate. It's great.
But perhaps they were becoming soldiers again. Brought me in my mind to Robert Jordan writing about, you know, this sort of experience of men who had battles singing as they're marching. You know,
Returning home.
yeah.
kind of like how
home.
at the end of. Oh wait, sorry.
No. By all means.
Oh, I was just thinking about the end of Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah. Yeah.
When they're
That's what it was
singing,
reminding me of too.
when they're singing like the Disney song. Just
I
so
hope.
fucking-
I hope.
Or no, it was like the Mickey Mouse Club song they sang, which is so.
Oh, was that what it was?
Just so like, just the contrast of men singing the Mickey Mouse Club song, marching away from urban warfare in Vietnam. I don't know. Yeah, so Perrin is having this moment like that, I guess.
Just the absurdity and the juxtaposition of the two things. Yeah.
And he's recognizing them as soldiers and not recognizing himself as a leader of soldiers, though. He's like, yeah, I'm no Arthur Hawkwing, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
He was good. I suck.
Oh, that's where Fael, she lays down like some wisdom, right? I mean, earlier she was like, a good leader, the biggest sin of a leader is to
Abandon.
People who
Abandon their
rely on
men.
you. Yeah.
She's like pulling them up, like, hey, come on. You stuck with them. You didn't abandon ship. That was earlier, though. I think she said that. So
Yeah, she's like, imagine a leader say, I'm going to go down to the Capitol with you. I'll be there. And then he's not there, right? There's no leadership. Everyone just
Right.
goes, yeah.
chaos ensues.
So what do y'all make of the red wolf head banner? Isn't the wolf head what is adorned on Lord Luke's gauntlets?
On his
Yeah,
pommel, I think, or on his...
On his pommel
is it
too,
his
but also
helmet?
on his gauntlets as well, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Just a little suspicious.
But it
But he's
said
trying to-
when
Because their
Alana
symbol was
told
the
a
red
few-
eagle.
Right.
And
But they're
Right,
trying
but
to-
it says when Alana told a few of the villagers how much Trollocs fear wolves, everyone seemed to think that this banner a grand idea. Don't you, Perrin? So it seemed that this was an Aes Sedai.
a lot of yeah, things condensing there, given Perrin's connection to them too.
Emmons Field is a completely different place right now. It is battle ready.
Dude, battle.
Anything 500 paces out is just clear cut, just gone. So that the Two River Bows can knock them out. They got spikes pointed out like a porcupine. It says, quote, row and row of waist-high stakes driven into the ground at an angle surrounded the village a little out from the houses and presented a continuous hedge of sharpened points except for where the road ran in. They also passed by a catapult, and Ivan says, yeah, we got 6 of them. It says, so far, 6 so far. Your carpenters knew what to do once Tomas and I showed them. The stakes will hold off charging Trollocs or White Cloaks, either one.
Battle
They got some-
ready.
Battle
I
ready.
mean, it's not as good as a trebuchet, but a catapult's pretty good.
Ooh, yeah. Trebuchet. Or
They walk
like
in
murder
and so
holes.
they're like, Baron Goldeneyes. Hey, it's Baron Goldeneyes. Hey, guys.
Baron Goldeneyes.
Baron Goldeneyes. Guys, it's Baron Goldeneyes. He says, quote, he wished they would not do that. Yeah, it's like, hey, that's Ban Big Nose. Hey, that's Ban Big Nose. Hey, guys, Ban Big Nose. Hey, that's Will Creeper's smile. Hey, Will Asheen Creeper's smile.
Yep.
And this is where Perrin gets judgy. He sees Horseface Nasa. He sees Big-Eyed Celia. He sees all people that he's like, hey, I'm gonna identify you. Hey, Shorty. Hey, Baldy. Hey, Fatty. Hey, Big Nose. Hey, Horseface. Nice.
Hey, even Senbui's there. Senbui's there.
Zembui's lifting a kid up on his shoulders. I would not let my kid. I would have a personal restraining order against Zembui ever touching my kid. He could violently just slap a kid he could just if that kid goes, hey, is that Perrin? I'll buy it. And he's like, it's Perrin, and just drop him off his shoulder, and just the kid would just plant on his head. I can see him doing that. I wouldn't want Zembui. Zembui's not a good godfather. He's not. He's the worst waiter. I mean, there's nothing redeeming about this kid.
And right after that, he says they had all gone mad.
They had all gone mad.
He's like, someone let a child on Senbui's fucking shoulders.
What has become of this place?
It's off the hook. Oh my god. Okay.
So we get this
I got
stuff about Andor and, queens not liking false banners raised in their strange banners raised in their lands.
Yeah, so
Aes Sedai have come out into
Viola
the
is a good
open.
point.
Yeah, Fio makes a couple of good points there.
She's like, hey, queens don't. I mean, they don't ignore maps. They know what they got. But Varen comes out. Yeah, apparently, the Aes Sedai are out in the open. They're being a part of the whole defense of the Edmonds Field, and it says the hard-packed dirt streets were nearly crowded enough for a city. This place is that. Yeah, Fio was right.
Oh, man.
They are. Everyone is in Edmonds Field. They have cleared away. It is a fortified now. Force to be reckoned with. They're like, go on, Trollocs, go on, White Cloaks, bring it, bitches. I got you.
Yep. Ready.
But Perrin is still injured. Varen's like, I can't heal this. It's in your ribs. It's barbed, and there's some infection going on.
Alana will take care of you.
Alana will take care of you.
Double-sided statement there.
It says Varen considered them right back, then suddenly, without seeming to look, reached behind her to snatch a girl of about 10 or 12 out of the onlookers. The girl, her long dark hair caught up with blue ribbons, went rigid with shock. She's like, Days Conger, go get her. But she just
the
does
wisdom.
this. She's talking to Perrin, and she's like, whoosh, you. Wasn't even looking, just grabbed. Crazy.
She's like, you, girl. Grab girl.
The next chapter does continue with that, with Perrin, but we're not going to go into that now. We got through 4 chapters, guys.
Luke.
Missed Ryan and Kay, but it had to be done. We had to do it.
We stayed on the rim of the toilet this whole episode instead of falling in.
Dude,
what can you say?
Fucking power trio.
We're on the
On
rim.
the rim of the toilet.
Around the
Rim of
rim.
the toilet.
We are going to. All right, so yeah. I say that we See, the first 3 are pretty short, and the 4th one's a little longer. But I say we go 4 as well. We go chapters 43 through 46.
Damn.
For next week. But that may change because we are doing
Next week.
Jordan
Are we
on this
are we
weekend.
doing a show next week?
Oh yeah, you guys are gonna be in.
Do you want to take the week off? We can take the week off. We're
Wait,
coming
Josh,
back
I mean,
on
aren't you
Monday.
guys traveling back on Monday? It might just be hard to time it.
Yeah. You know what, Josh? You speak truth. We may take the week off.
Take the week
but
off.
I'll let us know in our Discord, and Ryan will handle our Twitter, maybe.
All
We
Jordan
will-
all the time, baby. Jordan Con.
Yeah, because Jordan Con
Coming
right
in
now
strong.
is the main focus.
That means I
Josh,
get
you
2
were going to be in town. Is that official? Or is it
Unofficial.
still shrugged? It's still.
Most likely. We'll see.
So you guys gonna do like
Okay.
a panel discussion at Jordan Con, brother? Dave?
We are not on a panel discussion. We are doing our Watchinary show.
Ooh,
That's
nice.
it. On Saturday at 8:30 to 9:30, we are playing our Pictionary game based on Wheel of Time. It is audience participation, so if you come, and you will win stuff, maybe.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's we're not gonna have set guests. We're gonna have audience guests. So you show up, you can be on the show. Should be
Sounds
fun.
like an awesome time.
Yeah.
I wish I could make it out there. It's just not in my. It's not in my cards. Maybe I
Well,
could.
maybe
visit.
next year, Tutter.
Maybe I'll visit. Like, I'll visit you through the Wolf Dream or Tellerandriad.
Yeah,
I'll think about
I
it.
like that.
I'll work on it.
I hope I'm not all shimmery.
We'll see.
Unconnected to the land. No soil to hold you.
And if you guys at home, Josh and Todd both are musicians. Todd's with It Looks Like a Black Hole. Josh goes by Arlox and is also a member of Homunculus Rex. You can find him anywhere. Music, mostly SoundCloud, right?
Totally.
Best way.
SoundCloud.
So yeah, check him out if you haven't already. I love you all, and I'm proud of you. I hope to see a lot of you on this weekend. This is nerve-wracking and exciting, and if you see me, please come up to me.
Run for your life.
Not being aloof.
Oh.
I'm not being aloof. No, don't run for your life. Come talk to me. I'm not being aloof. I'm just being me.
Run.
So come say hi. And in the meantime, Todd, Josh, thank you, everyone. Run for your lives, because
Run for your lives, people.
that is the way
They're
to
coming.
leave.